Hello, sinners. Reshea here with a few shout outs for this week to some of the most amazing little sinners that we have. First, I would like to send a thank you to Emma and Kimberly. The both of you are just the best little angels we have. Emma and Kimberly this week gave us 5-star reviews each, and we cannot thank you enough. Every time we get a 5-star review, it helps push our content out to other people who also like to read dirty, smutty, sexy books and talk about sex and sexuality and just embrace who we are as people. And that helps us build our community, which is good for all of us. Also, I would like to send a thank you to Allison for the very sweet message. You are a truly amazing person, and we're so happy to have you as one of our own little sinners. And to everyone else out there, we really like it when you listen to the podcast, but we love it when you interact with us. That's the whole point of this podcast. We didn't make this just so we could talk at you. We made it because we want a community of people that we can talk with about all of the things that are going on in our heads. So make sure that if you want to tell us your story or you have something interesting to say, head on over to comewithuspod.com where you can submit your story and also sign up for our newsletter. Wink, wink. And then make sure to follow us on all of our socials. That way you can comment on the things we post, send us DMs, and we get to know you a little bit better. And we really, really want to be able to do that. You can listen to us wherever you get podcasts. We also upload our videos every week to YouTube. You can find us at Come With Us Pod on YouTube and pretty much everywhere else. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, subscribe to our podcast on whatever application you use to listen to your podcasts. And please, if you're feeling generous and you feel like tickling that praise kink I have, be sure to leave us a 5-star review. Like I said earlier, it really helps us. And I don't know, it just makes me feel all hot and bothered on the inside, I guess. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, amazing week.
Hello and welcome to Come With Us, a podcast to meet all your fantasy needs. I'm Sussy Nunez.
And I'm Reshea Riebenstorff, and we're here to dive into the tempting world of books, seductive romance, and a sprinkle of spice. I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers, Jamie French, and she made this whole video about how there's some sort of like uptick in fake podcasts on TikTok. And so what they have is they have people who like set up their fancy looking microphone and put on headphones, and then they set up their camera. So they're talking to somebody off camera like this, right? But there's nobody in the chair. There's nobody over there. Like maybe their cat, but that's it.
They're like interviewing or something, or they're getting interviewed, but there's no one on the other side.
Yeah, because they want what they are saying to be perceived as more important or like more official. So they're pretending that they said it on a podcast.
Like,
And
oh my God, I'm getting interviewed or I'm interviewing someone. Yeah, totally.
this is just a clip from my podcast, whatever, right? So then people started getting called out on it for doing it. And some of the people who started getting called out now have started like adding clips with other people like actually responding to them and making actual podcasts. And she's like, maybe they're just doing this as like a way to like drum up popularity before they drop a podcast so that they already have a big following. And I was like, why didn't we do it that way?
We're very genuine. We didn't think about it before. But honestly, I love it this way because that's boring.
Yeah. I'm like, also it's like a little too self-important. Like I'm all about being confident, but that's cocky. Like,
but like you're always pretending, that is boring. I don't know.
I know, right? Like, I don't know. It kind of made me sad for the people who are just talking to an empty chair because nobody else will listen to their opinions.
And now we are recording.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hello, hey, hi, my loves.
Hi.
We're back. Episode 4. Reshea, can you believe it?
I honestly can't. It's been hectic. I'm surprised we've made it this far.
Honestly, you guys, We are on episode 4 right now. That's why you're listening to us. And I'm so excited. You don't have to listen to those fake podcasts on TikTok. We
Mm-mm.
are here for you so you can listen to the
And
real
we're
podcast
really
right
talking
now.
to each other.
Yeah, like this is a real thing.
Mhm.
So Reshea,
Yes.
if your life was a book, what
Mhm.
would your chapter be called this week?
I would say it would be called Milestones.
Like that, like that, like that.
Yeah, milestones. Lots of birthdays, lots of firsts, lots of revelations. Also, we're about to come into Venus in retrograde, and that's like especially difficult for Leos right now, which I am one. And so we're just, it's all new beginnings. It's all, everything's coming to fruition. So, yeah. How
Is
about
your
you?
birthday? Is your birthday very soon, by the way?
Yeah, on Monday or Sunday.
I love it. You another year. We're always grateful for that. What
Yep.
about me? Honestly, I will say the infinite gratitude. Honestly,
I love that.
yes. I don't know. I had to stop saying I don't know. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
If you
Uh,
don't know, who does?
I know. This week has been very interesting. I think I was expecting it to be very difficult because it was going to be my first PMDD week.
Mm,
Uh, but honestly, I cannot complain. Like, I've been working through my things. I've been journaling. I've been doing my gratitude mornings and my morning routines and stuff. So I'm keeping it up, and I feel that the more I just keep up with my routines, the more I can feel more grateful because I don't feel like I'm failing myself. So I will say
yeah.
infinite gratitude to myself, to the universe, to Mother, Father, whatever you want to call it. Yes, definitely. But we have some exciting news for you guys. We confirmed 2 guests. You're gonna laugh. If you're on Book Talk, you know them. Of course you do.
Mhm.
And we're very excited because they're gonna be here in this podcast. And Reshea, like, we're doing it, babes.
It
We are doing
feels
it.
real. It feels real now. People want to be on our podcast. It feels like other people are taking it seriously too, as seriously as you and I have been taking it. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of
We've been
like
waiting on
when
this.
a SoundCloud rapper gets like signed.
Feature or something. Yeah, 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 yeah. Totally.
Like
Totally.
that time Fetty Wap got a song.
I know it's like silly for some people, maybe like if you guys don't understand the excitement, I get if you feel like it is maybe silly, but honestly, it's not because they have followers or it's not because they know about the stuff that we're gonna be talking about. It's just the fact that, oh my God, people are actually interested in coming here and talking to us. They don't know
Yeah.
us for anything. And that is exciting
Yeah.
because that means that what we're doing, we're expressing it and presenting it in a very good way, and you feel the vibes, you feel the love, you feel the excitement, and
Yeah.
that to me, it's like everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's kind of like these people have other things going on in their lives, and if they didn't think that what we had potential, they probably wouldn't waste their time with it. And the fact that they're giving us a chance means a lot to me. I'm trying to be less dependent on external validation, but it's still really nice to have.
The thing is that I had this like epiphany like 2 days ago where I got up and I had this crazy feeling of you need to ask for what you want because people are not wizards. They don't know what you will have in your mind. So ask
Mhm.
for it and you're gonna get it. Ask and
Yep.
you shall receive, right? I started emailing people that I actually admire, that I like, and I'm gonna keep emailing people that I admire and liked and would love to have on this podcast. Same for you, Reshea. And I'm
Yep.
telling you, this guys right now, ask for what you want. Ask for that raise. Ask for that job. For that boyfriend, for that man, for that money, whatever it is for you, ask
Hey,
for it
or
because it's
that
there for you.
girlfriend, that woman. Hello. It doesn't,
Yeah, or that
come on.
polyamorous relationship. Talk to your partners.
Yeah,
I don't know, whatever it is. Why choose, right?
sure.
Uh, I
Why
always have to bring
choose?
it out. I always have to bring
You
this
sound
out.
obsessed. You sound obsessed.
Yeah, I mean, you know I am. But my message for you this week is ask for whatever you want because it's really out there for you. Just
Yeah.
speak it into existence because it's waiting for you. I'm telling you. Now,
Mhm.
Rashad,
Yes, we have some business to get down to.
Yeah. Why were our first two episodes so explain explain? I
Explaining is the right word, I
Yeah,
think.
perfect. I want to know why.
Because Sarah J. Maas likes to put the most into all of her books, and it's very easy to get like bogged down on the events that happened because you want to talk about everything.
Yeah.
And so we did get a little bogged down on the first two episodes about the events that happened in A Court of Thorns and Roses. But we think it's really beneficial because now that we have this foundation with you guys, we can continue talking about the books without having to do that. That being said, in order to remedy that, to keep us from getting too in the weeds with all of the details, we decided that this week we would talk about, or we would separately come up with three specific things we wanted to talk about in the first half of A Court of Mist and Fury, and then come together and discuss it with you guys. All those things that you like can't stop thinking about, the stuff that is just like in your brain. You're like, I just gotta talk to somebody about it. Like that
We
stuff,
just have
that's what we're
so
gonna be.
many things that we need to get out of our chest.
Yeah.
Like,
We
let's
just we
just
need to scream it into the ether.
literally. And honestly, Sarah J. Maas is a great writer. And for us, it's like impossible to just brush a book. Like, so many things happen in just one chapter sometimes. So you want to talk about
Mhm.
that chapter for like a whole episode, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what we felt with ACOTAR, specifically the first book, right?
Mhm.
So I felt like we needed that foundation for you guys because let's be honest, most of you, not most, but some of you have no idea what these books are about.
Yeah.
Not at all. You're listening to this because you love us, because we're the shit and you know her, and you wanna tell in like a month, 6 months, you're gonna be like, oh, I was the first listener. I was there the first one. Yeah, I know them. And I know you wanna be that. I get it. So we wanted you to understand what was the whole series about with the first book because that is the foundation, right? Now, get into the second book because we know that some of you guys don't know corn about this book. We corn. We went into the wild wide web, yeah, and
World
we
Wide Web?
found no, I want to say wild, the
Oh,
wild
yes.
web,
The Wild Wide Web.
and we found a very interesting summarization of what this book is about. So listen,
Mhm.
please.
Listen, if you haven't got your fill of amazing book reviews where it kind of describes what happens, you need to follow Allie Learns to Read on Instagram. And it's ALI with underscores between each word. Hilarious. Okay, ready? So she did a wonderful job of
She
summarizing
did.
A Mist and Fury for you. And I'm going to read it for you right now. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. 4 out of 5 stars. Feyre has safely returned from under the mountain and suffers no ill effects aside from nightmares, violent gastrointestinal distress, anemia, and losing the will to live. Her fiance has turned into a massive dick because the Spring Court may have many positive attributes, but it does not have comprehensive trauma counseling.
Heck no.
At her wedding, Rhysand swoops in, literally, takes her to his condo, and gets her hooked on phonics. We meet Cassian, who is serving big wing energy, and Azriel, a spy master who can't suss out that the woman he's been in love with for 500 years isn't into men.
I know, but daddy and daddy. Go ahead.
Okay. We discover that Rhys is really good at keeping secrets from Feyre, particularly when they pertain to her. Better call in Az because that's some foreshadowing. And she eventually forgives him by heating up a can of Dinty Moore. They have sex in a vat of Bob Ross paint. Happy little bushes indeed. The most important character in this book is the Surreal, a sassy, soothsaying slayer in Voldemort robes. Lucian continues to be perfect. Tamlin is pissed. Book talk loses its collective mind.
Just want to point out, cereal. She needed to talk about the cereal in that review because the cereal is everything.
The Surreal
First,
is everything, 100%.
second, when she says Lucian, what?
Lucian continues to be perfect.
Love him. We stand
Disagree.
Lucian forever. No, I know what
disagree.
you're going. I know, but dude, look, Lucian and his other redhead in the story that is gonna come in a minute, uh, forever mine. I don't know what you think, Reshea, but to me, A Court of Mist and Fury
Mhm.
is the second book, and to me, this is the book where everything starts, like for reals.
Yeah, it's almost like ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, was the prequel to
Definitely,
A Court of Mist and Fury, but it was a
yeah,
very important prequel, like
we
super
needed it.
important, but
We
we
needed it.
needed it. It was great for character
Yeah,
development, but the real
yeah,
story
and
begins now.
to be honest with you, as you can notice, we both wearing black because it's someone's funeral today. Who,
Yeah.
Richet? Who?
Oh, that would be the glowing opinion of Tamlin.
So we're wearing black because it's his funeral, and we're not
And
sorry about it. Even though I'm gonna be defending his past for a little bit,
Mhm.
but yeah. So Richet, let's get into it.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is the utter denial that Tam Tam is in. Okay,
Hmm.
um, he's listen. I understand he's been through a lot. I get it. Let's be real though. For 50 years, for 49 years, the rest of Prithian was under the mountain with Amarantha, right?
Mhm.
Tamlin was just in the spring court with a mask on his face.
Chilling.
Yeah. No, it's so hard. I know. It's really hard for him, okay? But come on. And not as hard as it was for somebody who was getting like sexually assaulted daily by Amarantha or
Rhysand.
or somebody who was like stuck in a ring in a state of like perpetual consciousness
Durian.
or like any of the other who was it was the summer court's high lord
Everybody
who was
was him.
trying the summer court's high lord like was murdered for trying to stage a coup. Like come on, like these people were going through it daily. So after all this happens and they go back to the spring court, uh Tamlin is just, I mean, oh, like blinders up, I guess is the best way to put it.
They're
Yeah.
back at the spring court. They're together. They meaning Farah and Tampon or Tamlin. Sorry, I'm not gonna call him Tampon. But it's a funny name. Um, Farah and Tamlin are back in spring court, right? And
Mhm.
she's going nuts. She's
She's
crazy.
not doing well. She's not
No,
doing well.
Farah is having what we call PTSD, and
Yeah, she's not doing great.
Tamlin is like, babes, you're doing great. Babes, like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, we're thriving.
Yeah.
Thriving, babes.
You
What happened?
you know what? You know what would really help Farah right now? Planning a party. Listen,
And
here's
more than
another
planning a party, putting her with someone that is fucking crazy, like a psychopath.
oh, this woman is terrible. Just like just horrible. Um bad. I can't think of better words for her, but that's
I love her name though.
Ianthe.
I
Mhm.
love her name. I would never
I think
use
it's
it because
weird.
it's tainted, but I love her
Yeah.
name.
I think it's weird, but that's okay. Yeah, one of the other reasons that he's in denial is because if we're focusing on all of Tamlin's relationship with Feyre up until this point, she has never once indicated for an iota of a moment that she is the kind of woman that wants to wear pretty dresses and plan parties and sit next to him and not do anything and not go anywhere and not explore and not go outside. Like he has completely put her into this box of what he thinks a high lord's wife should do and should be.
Mm,
He's completely ignoring the fact that that's not the woman that he met or fell in love with. And
mm.
it drives me nuts. And then we get to the part where uh we're in the tithing.
Explain what that is.
Oh, so there's the tithing for those of you that don't know. And that's basically where everyone who lives in the land needs to bring a percentage of what they own or the money that they have and give it to the High Lord. It's similar to taxes.
Taxes?
Like, it's similar to taxes that existed, when like in England when they had the king and the lords and
Yeah.
ladies and stuff, and everybody had to like go pay their taxes, or similar to in a church when you when you
El
pay
día.
a tithe. He's doing this, and Farah's like, "Bitch, we got gold out the ass over here. Like, what are you
Like,
talking about? Taking
she's
money
like,
from poor people?"
we don't need it. Why are you and she sees that people are like, we cannot give you this money.
Yeah, and he's in denial about the fact that his wife, fiance, grew up destitute, like, absolutely so poor,
Yeah.
and then when he said, "I'll take care of your family," he gave them so much money that they probably never had to do anything for the rest of their life, and they were set, right? And yet he's asking for stuff from his own people who are still recovering from the Amarantha business, right?
Dude.
He doesn't understand that, like, why she's angry. He doesn't
Mm.
understand her undermining him when she, goes to that wraith and is not wraith, oh, yeah, a water wraith, is that what it was? And just is like, "You're good," like, and just, like, gives her necklace or something. He just continues to refuse to acknowledge the woman that his fiancée is. So then his wedding comes,
Mm.
right? She's walking down the aisle. She specifically told Ianthe, "I
The
don't like to
crazy
see
bitch.
red." The crazy bitch. "I don't like red. Red's triggering for me because every time she sees red, all she can see is the blood of those fairies that she killed under the mountain," right?
Yep.
She's like, "I don't want red
PTSD.
anywhere." Tamlin, I guess, doesn't even know that she doesn't like red.
They
Like,
were not talking. They were having sex sometimes, but they were not talking.
but how? You have okay, Grant, I was gonna be like, "You've been together for," and then I realized it's been, like, 3 months, but still,
Yeah.
like he didn't even know that red was triggering for her. If he'd paid even a little bit of attention, he probably could have figured that out. She tells Ianthe,
That part. That part.
yeah, he just wasn't paying attention. He
Yeah.
was just anything that caused him issues or made him uncomfortable, he just ignored. Ianthe goes against what Farrah says. She comes around the corner to walk down the aisle, red rose petals everywhere, right? She's in this hideous dress that doesn't say Feyre at all, and
I
all
think
I
it
can
was, I
imagine
always
is
picture it as a quinceañera dress. The ones that are
yes.
full, like
Yes,
huge. It was so bad that even Rhysand freaking laughed.
it was bad. It reminds me of, like, the wedding dress in, The Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler.
Mm,
It's
mm, 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 mm.
very 80s is what is the vibe I was
Yeah,
getting.
totally.
So I'm trying to picture this scene. She's walking down the aisle. She's in her head going like, "Anybody, like, please, somebody save me, save me, please," right? Begging to be saved from this situation. She can't look happy right now. There's no way that she's being triggered by the red and by the dress and the overwhelm of all these people staring at her and this wedding and marriage that she wasn't ready for, and she's in her head begging, and there's no way she's just like, "I'm so happy" on the outside. She's gotta be
Mm.
sweating bullets. She's gotta look like a ghost, like, no color in her face, aside from the fact that she's malnourished and sleep deprived because
She's not sleeping. Yeah.
she's not eating, she's not sleeping, she's throwing up anything she tries to eat. Like, there's no way that she looks good. Rhysand swoops in, right? He's like, "I think I'll be taking my week now of the month. Remember that bargain?" Right? And Tamlin's like, "What? What do you mean? What do you mean Feyre was upset?" Like, he doesn't even consider the fact that she might have been in distress, and because of the bond that they have with the bargain, that he might have been able to pick up on that. She gets back after a week. She looks more well
After a week of
rested.
being with Rizan.
Yeah. After a week of being with Rhysand in the Court of Nightmares, right?
Yeah.
She's she's got some color back on her cheeks.
Yep.
She doesn't look quite so frail. She's more well rested. The circles under her eyes are starting to disappear. And Tamlin's like, "You poor thing, I'm so sorry." He's just in denial the whole time.
Yeah.
He
Like you
can't
have to want to be blind to not see it.
yeah, you know what it makes me think remind me of? It reminds me of people who um currently are they have like a really steadfast religious belief or political belief or something, and somebody comes with evidence and they say, hey, here's evidence to refute that, and they just go, nope, no, no. And they, because that would just destroy their worldview, and that would
Yep.
be uncomfortable for them, so they ignore it.
Tamlin, since the beginning, he's always been the traditional type of guy. He
Hmm.
loves tradition. If we were be talking about like this type of world right now, our world, he would be like
Hmm.
a pastor or like someone like that that loves to
Absolutely.
preach and he loves religion and he's devoted to it. And he's a fanatic even because he doesn't think that tradition needs to change because that's why things are working the way they are because they are traditional and he's a traditional guy, but Farah darling, uh if you know you know, uh Farah darling, I do have to say though, I get Farah and I understand everything and I'm not defending Tamlin at all, but Tamlin always, like, he showed who he was always.
Oh yeah, and we just didn't want to see it.
Farah was just deprived of love. She wanted
Mhm.
to someone to love her. That's why she said, "Red flag, nope. Red flag, nope. I'm not. I don't see them. I don't see them. No, they're
Yeah.
all green."
You know what it makes me think of when you say that is, I'm gonna bet that we've got at least a few listeners who recognize you were in a bad relationship, you were in maybe an unsafe home, you had controlling parents or parents who had addictions, or you had an abusive ex or whatever, right?
Mm,
And then you find somebody who seems like a way out, and they're kinder to you and they're more patient with you and so on and so forth, right? And they might be more financially stable, or they might be able to offer you things that you don't have now. You're going to ignore a lot of the things that are red flags because you're just trying to get out of the situation you're currently in. Sarah was in a pretty shit situation beforehand, and
totally.
she was like stuck feeling ashamed because of that promise she made to her mom. But the
Mm,
second she knew that that promise was fulfilled, she was like, I'm out of here, right? And
hmm
so it was so easy for her to go, yeah, I'm definitely going to make this work because this is way better than what I used to have. And that's
This
okay
being
if,
Tamlin,
yes, Tamlin, Spring Court, all that, this is way better than what I used to have. But that is always short lived.
yeah,
You will
it's an
always,
illusion though.
it is, because then when you get comfortable and you start realizing that even though you have issues, even though your past life was not great, and even though you're thankful for what they're able to provide you now, you are still allowed to ask for more. You are still allowed to ask for something different. You are still allowed to advocate for yourself. And you don't, at one point, you realize you don't owe somebody your constant agreement just because they got you out of that bad situation, right?
Totally, totally.
So Tamlin basically, the bar was on the floor underground with Feyre's
That part.
parents.
That part. Not only parents, her life in general. Like
Yeah.
the idea that she had for her life was, I just need to get rid of my sisters and
Mhm.
just freaking paint.
Yeah,
That's
that was
all
the
I want.
bar. That
Yeah,
was the bar, and it was
that's
on the
all
floor
she wanted.
underground.
And then
And
this rich, freaking beautiful, amazing,
mhm,
wonderful, magical man appears. You're like,
yeah,
I'll give you everything.
yeah, he literally, all he did was step over the bar. He
Yeah.
didn't raise the bar. He just stepped over it, and he's like, "Hey, look,
No.
I'm gonna feed you." And she's like, "He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Feeding you is probably like the bare minimums,
The
okay?
least.
The least you could do. You're taking her away from her whole life. The least you could do is feed her."
You are kidnapping her, babes. Like,
Yeah, exactly, right? And then he had so many like rage outbursts in the first book that we were just like, nope, I'm gonna
talking
ignore
about
that.
kidnapping, by the way, everybody talks Zade with and Adeline. Oh my god, no, no. He freaking Tamlin kidnapped Farah. And nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. That is kinky, babes. And that wasn't CNC, not at all.
Mm-mm. No. But
So
I don't know, but I mean, because he didn't have sex with her, I guess, after he kidnapped her until like he Stockholm
it's a
syndromed her.
kidnapping.
The kidnapping and then falling in love with your captor, definitely kinky for
Yeah,
sure.
but let's say Zade is Daddy Zade. That's all I'm gonna say. Continue.
We'll get there. Um, so yeah, basically like everything that Tamlin thinks is him just being willfully ignorant, staying in denial just so that he can maintain his own worldview. Because
Yeah,
because despite the evidence that Feyre is looking better and feeling better and being stronger and speaking up for herself, he still wants to believe that Rhys in the Night Court is some evil dude, even though he's clearly taking care of her and he's brought her back every time, and he doesn't want to believe, well, maybe he's not all bad, you know?
yeah.
And he doesn't want to believe that Sarah could possibly know what's best for her because
I
he
know
just
I'm
wants to
coming.
protect her.
I know I'm coming out like I'm defending Tamlin, but I'm not. But I understand where Tamlin is coming from in that matter, like specifically the fact that she went to the Court of Nymers before Amarantha. Everybody thought the Court of Nymers was the worst thing that could happen to you
Yeah.
because they had this very, very, very bad idea of everything that goes on over there. So I understand Tamlin in that way. I get that part. Of course, the visual evidence is something else, but I
Yeah.
understand he's like fear in that way.
I get it, but he's also not listening to her when
Of
she like
course,
I
yeah.
mean, she's even saying like you got to let me leave the palace. You got to let me go, right? And he's just like literally putting her in a cage.
Basically, Farah wanted to get out and help people after Amarantha's situation. She wanted
Yeah.
to get out, and because Amarantha destroyed so many things, people are now building houses and stuff. And she's like, "Okay, let's go out and help." And he's like, "No, you are
Yeah.
not even a high lady because that's another thing." She's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, if we
High
get
ladies
married,
don't exist.
yeah, if we get married, what am I gonna be, Tamlin?" And he's like, "Do you need a title? What? Excuse me,
You'll
I
be
am the High Lord."
you'll be my wife.
Yeah, you'll be like the lady of the High Lord. You belong
Of
to
the
me,
court. The
of
lady
the
of the
court.
court. Yeah.
Yeah, of the Supreme Court. She's like, damn, I have literally like nothing to do here besides just
Yeah.
being his cute thing.
She was like in a cage for 3 months under the mountain, and then he just put her back in a cage. And the idea of not being able to escape triggered her PTSD.
Yeah, because she's like, okay, I want to go out, I want to fight, I want to do something right for
Have
like the people
purpose.
and stuff. Yeah, have a purpose. And he's
Mm.
like,
Oh,
Farah, hold your horses. You're not going anywhere. You are staying here because you belong to me. And that means I have to like take care of you and make you safe. And he had this
yeah.
idea of her being safe. Like, stupido, I saved you under the mountain.
I know. Like, did you like get that? Like, she was still human, and she did all that, right? Like, I granted,
Stupido. That's the
I mean,
only
she
word.
had help. She had help. Absolutely, she had help, but
I
she
mean,
still
hello,
did it.
Rhysand.
Yeah, and Lucian, he helped too. He like when she first got beat up and everything. Yeah, and he told her to look to the left, right? When the worm was coming. He helped how he could, right? And Tamlin, for the record,
Okay, okay.
sat there and did nothing. Tamlin did nothing. And then he's
That
like, "It's my
is
turn
the
to
biggest red
protect you."
flag.
What the
That
fuck?
is the biggest red flag. That one
It
right there.
drives me up a fucking wall.
Look, I defend him in so many ways, but just because of that, I will dump your ass, no doubt. I
Oh,
will save
yeah.
everybody. But you, me, we don't know each other. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Right? Yeah. So basically, that's my spiel about Tamlin being in denial because I just needed to yell. And I know everybody, like a lot of people agree with me. A lot of people who are ACOTAR fans agree with me. Like Tamlin, like what the fuck, dude? He just, I know, he just needs some therapy and he needs to like read some self-help books on raising that emotional intelligence because he's so like primitive in the way that he views things like me, big man, protect woman. Like Grow
Yeah,
up,
he's
dude.
very, again, we go to the same uh pattern, the same behavior. He is a traditional guy. Women are not supposed to do anything. Women are not supposed to like have thoughts of their own or even like
Mhm.
wanting to like help people. You are just supposed to be my cute thing and I will keep you safe and that's it. And
Yeah.
to me, the most annoying part is Farah. He always knew Farah was a wild bitch. Like we
Yeah.
know it.
I mean, she was
She
deep in
killed
that
your friend
forest.
Andras,
Yes.
babes.
Right? I don't know. I
Like
don't know what
she
the deal
killed
is.
Andras, and you're gonna tell me that you don't expect her to just wanting to hunt? What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Now
We
let's talk about Farah's time with Rhysand that week, that first week. What
Mm.
happened?
Oh.
I'm so excited.
Um,
Now we get introduced to the man with the purple eyes, with the violet eyes, like
oh
the
yes.
real him.
Um, r- well, I think if I recall correctly, she threw a shoe at him and then
Yeah, in
and
her
then
horrible wedding dress.
and then they got her dressed to look like Jasmine from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Everybody was thinking that that's what the style is, right? It's
I think
very
so because
Jasmine.
if you see Ram's fan art, she's always
Mhm.
dressing with like little crop tops and the pants are
Yeah.
like a little bit like, yeah, definitely.
It's 100% Jasmine, right?
Yeah,
So, um, and then he decides he's going to teach her how to read. He gets her hooked on phonics, which that line cracks me up.
he actually took the liberty
Mhm.
of teaching Farah because he said if we go again until like something like under the mountain, this bitch is gonna get us killed. If she has to
Fair,
read, she's gonna get us killed.
fair.
So he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna
Bitch, you
risk
don't know how to read? What? You're like what, 20?
Yeah, and then he just took the liberty to say, okay, Farah, I'm gonna be your teacher. By the way, that was a very sexy moment in my mind. By the way, just letting you know, because teachers are sexy. If you are
Mm.
underage, you're not supposed to be listening to this podcast, by the way. Just letting you
Yeah,
know.
just
Uh,
college professors are sexy.
yeah,
College,
yeah, because you're in college, you're like what, in
you're
18,
18.
19?
You're 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But if
College
you're like,
professors are sexy.
so please, please do not. Parents, if you're listening to this, please, we're doing the best we can.
Listen,
We have a lot of
we're gonna
kids.
we're gonna give you a minute to pause and then get the kid out of the room or put your headphones in.
Yeah.
And
We
now we're continuing.
we told you. Okay. So yeah, he's like, Farah, you're gonna know how to read and how to write because we cannot risk it again. And what is he teaching her? Like while we're
Oh, the
doing this, like
sentences.
what are the things? Yeah.
He has her like writing, I can't do it with the mirror. Fuck this mirrored camera. Non-mirror.
Oh,
Rhysand is the most handsome High Lord. Rhysand is the most powerful High Lord.
he is.
He's just
He
making her
is.
write shit. I know, right? He's just making her write shit that is just complimenting him. And I really loved it because when he's doing that, he's like kind of he's replacing her feelings of despair and sorrow and
Depression.
yeah, like utter depression. He's replacing it with like anger and fire and fight in her and seeing him do that because I kind of caught it too. Like somebody's really struggling. Sometimes they need a shoulder to cry on, but Feyre's not that kind of girl.
He just wanted her to feel anger or like
Anything.
silliness or anything besides just being sad.
She
And for
felt
that,
empty.
my
Yeah.
heart, baby, my
I
heart.
know. I know. It got me. It got me so fast.
Totally. So Tamlin has this, we need to protect Farah. We need to like love her forever. We need to like have her in this little shell, like
She's a
glass that
Fabergé egg.
yeah, ugh, yeah. And then Rhysand is like, I need you to get up and work out because if something happens tomorrow, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I'm not
like,
gonna read. I don't want to die.
Yeah. I love that he was at the very beginning just like sorry, excuse me. I love that from the very beginning of their interactions with her at the House of Wind, um, it was very much like, "Do you wanna be a part of this? Do you wanna know what's going on? Okay, that's fine. Just letting you know, like, you can't be going back and telling him everything." Um, and he was giving her the option to be a part of things, which was
Yeah.
nice.
And
And
to choose if she wanted to be a part of things.
yeah,
The
so
choice.
you wanted to talk about how Rizan really was versus how he appeared to be, and that's one of my favorite things is, like, how he was presenting himself and why he was presenting himself.
So Farah is that week, the first week with him, and she sees that she has like books and she's starting to read and she's actually learning and getting into books because Farah baby is like us, she's a book girl. And she notices that this man leaves for like hours or days. And she's like, where the heck is this hoe? Like, I know he's with women. I know it. I just know it. I just know it.
He's doing evil deeds, clearly.
He's killing people. He's taking the wings out of men. I just know it. I just know it.
Yeah.
And then she's like curious about it. And then I think that curiosity gets her to be more interested in him because she's like, where is he? I want to know. He brings me here and he leaves me alone. That she likes it, by the way, because I think she needed that space. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that he knew it and he gave it to her, even though he
Yeah.
was desperate to be with her too, because he wanted
Yeah.
to get to know her and everything, right? Because we know that Farah wanted to be I don't know, I think she wanted to be just like a first lady. She just wanted to have responsibilities. And Tamlin was like,
She wanted to have purpose.
yeah, and Tamlin was like, nerd. Uh, literally, he said nerd. He growled. He said nerd. Then he literally puts her in a cage. She
Mhm.
was in a cage where she basically, because oh, we didn't tell you, Farah has like OG powers. Like she's
Oh,
powerful.
yeah. She's, like, super powerful, and Tamlin's like,
She's
"Let's
crazy.
just put a lid on that and just shove it deep, deep down.
And she's
Gotta
like,
shove it
Tamlin,
down."
I'm feeling this, I don't know, these things in me, and I'm so strong, and I don't know how to manage it. And he's like, do you know what? I think you're imagining things. I don't think you're right in the head, babes. Let's just put you in a cage for now.
We don't want anybody else to know that you have powers or else they might wanna kill you.
Yeah, and of course, Farah dies, and Tamlin will like die with her probably. So he's like, no, I mean, my life is too precious, Farah. You cannot die because I will die. So I mean, I'm saying it in like funny, but I think that he
Is
just was obsessed.
self-preservation? Yeah.
Yeah, just was obsessed. So everything happens, and Farah in this cage, she just go kind of like crazy. She had like a
Oh,
breakdown, like a
straight
bad
up panic
breakdown.
attack, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
I
in,
don't know.
like, a cocoon of darkness and fire, and
Own darkness and fire. Like it was
yeah,
herself
her
damaging
powers
herself.
her powers erupted around her, and she was sitting on the floor in a cocoon of these powers of hers just swirling around her. It made me
Yeah.
think of her being, like, inside a tornado, like, a very small tornado, and it's
Yeah,
just going
exactly.
around. Yeah.
And then, of course, because Rhysand and Farah have a bond that he with the pact that they have, and Rhysand couldn't get there because of Tamlin's and it was a whole thing. That doesn't matter. The thing is the following. The following. Rhysand's cousin, the Morrigan, we love her.
Ooh.
Yes. She was like, Reese, calm down, babes. I'm gonna get her for ya. She
Mhm.
goes. She gets her. Alice, the handmaiden, the lady that cleans and cooks and whatever, on Spring Court, she's like, take it. She's gonna die here. This
Yeah.
man is going nuts. Please.
Yep.
If I don't think he's going, he's actually nuts. So take her. Here she is. And Morgan takes her literally like she takes her like a I don't know,
Like a baby.
like a baby. Yeah, yeah. And then Morgan takes her, and after that, Farrah's like unconscious. It's just out of it.
Yeah.
The Morgan gets to the night court, right?
Yeah, she's at the House of Wind.
At the House of Wind. And I think Rhysand waits for Feyre to get up and then takes her to Velaris, or what was it?
Yeah, he said, "I've gotta go somewhere for a couple days, like, I'll be back." And she was like, "Take me with you, please."
Yeah, because as we said before, every time she goes to the court of nightmares, he disappears. He will
Yeah.
disappear, and she will be like, "Where is this her?" And then after that, she's like, "I don't want to be alone. I cannot be alone. This was just too much for me. I need to be with people, and I don't want you to leave me alone." And he's like,
"Don't
"Okay,
lock me
if I
away."
take you, yeah, if I take you, you need to shut your mouth. You
Yep.
cannot tell anybody about this, like nobody, because this is
Mhm.
my biggest secret. I went to Under the Mountain just because of this, and I was this bitch's whore because of this.
Yeah.
So you cannot be a sapo. That's what we say in Spanish for frog. If someone calls you a sapo, that's a bad thing.
Okay,
Uh,
good to know.
yeah, yeah. So you cannot be a sapa and tell everybody about this. She's like, yeah, what is Velaris?
So he winnows her, which we're learning is a thing. He can just winnow, which is
If
also
you
very
remember
cool.
from episode 0, I said that that was a power that I wanted
That's right,
forever.
yeah. Yeah, just being able to
Yeah.
travel without having to pay for a plane ticket, it'd be
Oh
great.
my god, the dream.
But yeah, let's see. So he winnows her to this room, and it's like comfy cozy, right? There's like
Mm,
a fireplace and big oversized couches, and like I'm imagining like the Gryffindor common room but smaller. like
mm.
like reds and golds and like comfy colors, right? And it's a townhouse. So it's small. It's not huge like the Spring Court. It's not spacious and open and modern like the House of Wind, right? It's like very comfy cozy.
I would say it's like the New York type of townhouse, like a
Yes, like a
London type of
brownstone.
townhouse. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like a brownstone. Exactly.
Yep. So it's like brownstone, very homey, very warm and inviting.
Yeah.
And she's like, "The fuck is this?" Because high lords don't stay in moderately sized living situations. That's ridiculous.
When she was at the Court of Nightmares, everything there was very fancy, uh very
Minimalist.
I don't know if minimalist, but I will say like it was very top. It's just
Hmm.
he because that's where he was receiving the other high lords and the other
Yeah.
people. So they have like an image to,
Yeah.
pretend. Let's put it
Very
that way.
elegant, very
Yes.
clean, sleek
And
lines.
while she was there, she never saw anything bad, by the way, ever.
Oh,
The
yeah.
core
Never
nightmares,
saw anything
never.
bad.
But then she gets to Velaris and she's like, "You live here? This
Yeah. Yeah.
looks cheap. This looks not cheap, but like this looks
Affordable.
very homey. Yes,
Yeah.
it looks affordable, babes, and you're a high lord."
Yeah.
And then she gets to meet
Oh,
the
she
inner
gets
circle.
Fat boys.
Yes, we learned that Reese Daddy or Daddy Reese, he has this group of friends, right?
Yeah,
That is are his family.
it's his inner circle. Yeah, they're the people who've been with him for hundreds of years that he trusts the
Yeah,
most.
like he doesn't have any family so
Mhm.
far in the books. They are his family, like
Yeah, chosen
friends and
family.
sisters. Exactly, chosen family. That's the word that I was going for. We meet Amram, first woman in command.
I mean,
Yes.
Fey female. Get it right. They're not
Whatever.
women because they're not
Whatever.
human.
Well, actually, she's not even Fae. Onboarding is like a whole lot of different things.
An enigma.
That is the perfect word. Then second in command is going to no third in command is gonna be the Morrigan, the cousin, the actual cousin, like blood cousin.
Another woman.
Yes, I know. Rhysand knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
Daddy, you see, that's why I call him Daddy Reese. And
It's
then
true.
we have Cassian.
Mm. Oh boy.
Yeah. And we have Asriel. I will be referring to them as Daddy Cassian and Daddy Asriel. Asriel, to me, right now, so far, I love
Mhm.
him. I don't think he's a daddy yet.
Mm-mm.
He could be getting there. We don't
Like
know
a
it yet
s
because we need the other book, the next
like
book.
a s I mean, if we're going with kinks only here, he's like a step bro. Like, he'll
You know,
help you if you get stuck in a washer machine.
when you have a white shoes, there's always like the alpha in the Why-choose, right?
Mhm.
And then they're like the other guys in the Why-choose. He's like
Mhm.
one of the other guys. He's a saddy.
Absolutely.
He's definitely always sad. He has a lot of bad things happening in his life, or that happened in his life.
Yeah.
So we love him, but he could be a lot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put him as a sad boy Asriel for now.
Love it.
What are your thoughts on the inner circle?
First of all, I love that he has an inner circle because if we're comparing to what we've seen in the past so far, Tamlin does everything on his own. He makes every decision on his own. He only confides in himself. He has his emissary, Lucian, right? But Lucian doesn't have a say. Lucian is there to do his bidding.
Lucian, I always see him when we're referring to Tamlin as a
Mhm.
0%. He doesn't add anything.
Yeah, not to the spring court. I mean, I
No.
feel like Lucian has potential, but because
Oh,
Lucian is
so
stuck in
much.
this Lucian is stuck in this feeling of I need to be grateful. It's like how we were talking about how Feyre is, she was in a bad relationship and then Tamlin got her out and now she's realizing she can still ask for things. Lucian
Mm,
still hasn't realized that yet. He still thinks that he
no.
just needs to be thankful to Tamlin for taking him in. So Lucian is
Because he's
not
family.
yeah, Lucian's just not he's not um I know Tamlin relies on him as much as possible and confides in him as much as possible, but Tamlin also keeps a lot of stuff real
Mm,
close to his chest, and he doesn't take outside opinions for final decision making, right? Rhysand or Rhys or Daddy Rhys, he has this inner circle and he listens to their opinions and he values what they have to say and their expertise. He has
and he asked for
yes.
their opinions.
Yeah, and he like his whole train like he was trained as an Illyrian warrior, right?
Yeah.
With Cassian and Azriel. He's perfectly capable of being the general of the Illyrian armies, and yet he is not.
Mm,
He's able to delegate. That's what it is. So he delegates and he has this circle of people which I think make him a better leader because once a leader understands that maybe other people might have better or different ideas that you can benefit from and they listen to
mhm.
them, amazing. 10 times better. So I'm in love with the idea of an inner circle.
So in this book, we love Rizan. I'm not calling him Daddy Riz. Listen, we love Rizan in this book. We are enchanted by this new persona that we're getting to know, right? He has
Mhm.
friends. Tamlin doesn't have friends because I don't consider
Mm,
Lucian his friend, to be honest with you. He's
no,
just
it's his
there.
employee.
Yeah, he's just there. That's it.
Mhm,
So Rizan has friends, and that says a lot about a man. In this universe, on whichever I don't care. That says a lot about a man. If a man has friends,
mhm,
that's good.
yeah.
And he has women friends. He has an equivalent,
Yeah.
like he's balanced. He has two male, two female. That's great. We
Mhm,
love it.
love it.
And if you know Ambram, you know she's like a whole. I don't know how to explain her. Like she's just
She's a lot.
a whole equivalent of herself. So yes,
She scares Reese.
she scares everybody
Yeah, that's
unless
like
it is
Reese
what was
is
his name? Oh no, like, we
oh,
cannot say it yet, right?
Varian.
No, we can because we're gonna talk about him. Yeah,
Oh,
Varian.
okay.
I love Varian. He to have the balls to see Anne Ram and like her and pursue that. I'm sorry, but nobody in the book can do that. Nobody, just him.
No, he has to have a certain, like, lack of value of his own life. He's like, "I don't care if I live or die. Let's try to get this pussy."
to be and to be honest with you, she knows that because she saw the potential. She saw
Mhm.
the balls that like it took for him to do all the things that he did, and
Los
she said,
cojones grande.
"Los cojones," and she said, "You,"
Cojones.
and she said, "You are the one for me."
You're the one. Mhm.
You. I forgot the song. Whatever. Literally forgot the song. I was gonna sing.
My life. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. So we love this new persona that Rhys is. Not this new because it's
Mm.
not new. We just get to know him now like this, right?
Yeah.
And Farah is like, what is this thing that I'm feeling in my belly? Are these like butterflies?
What is this
What?
feeling? So sudden and new.
Yes. She's like, oh my God, I'm feeling butterflies. And she's trying to ignore them. But
Mm.
now we get into what we call, or what you call, Farah's trials to be accepted, not accepted because she's accepted either way, but
It's
like
like
to
they're
prove herself to the
yeah.
inner circle.
It's like
Explain them.
it's like the inner circle is a sorority and they're hazing Feyre
So
so
the house
that
of wind is going to be the fat house.
absolutely. Except in this scenario, instead of making the pledges sit on washing machines and use black Sharpie wherever it jiggles, um,
Mhm.
she has to go steal a ring from somebody who most definitely could and wants to kill her. She wants in this business, right? And she's tired of feeling useless. She's tired of feeling weak. She's tired of feeling powerless. And she's like, I want in. And Rhys is like, you're going to have to prove that you can keep up. All right. And so he's essentially putting her through trials all over again, right? The Weaver is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the worm under the mountain. Okay. And you cannot change my mind about that. And then he literally sat in a tree 2 miles away and was like, try not to die. I think the difference is Favor's got this. She's got going to the prison to visit the bone carver, and that involves going under another mountain, right? And she's having like PTSD panic, right? She's going through all of that to talk to one of the oldest and creepiest creatures on Prithian. She
Yeah.
has to go to the summer court. There's a bunch of trials that she has to face, right?
Yeah.
The only difference, in my opinion, is it was consenting. She wanted to be a part of this. She wanted what the end game was. When she was
You
under the
know,
mountain, sorry,
more than one thing, I will say she had the choice.
there was no like, if you don't do this, everybody dies. It was just, if you don't do this, you can go back to the spring court. That's fine. You're
Yeah.
okay.
And I
The
would like
stakes were
scramble your
low.
brains maybe so you cannot tell anybody that this exists. But
Yeah. Yeah, like the stakes were low, okay?
yeah.
So it wasn't, I mean, towards the end of her time under the mountain, she was just like, I'm gonna straight up kill myself. Like, I'm gonna stab these three fairies so everybody lives, and then I'm just gonna turn that ash arrow right onto myself because I don't want to live anymore. This was not that. The difference here is that she was actively choosing this, and she could walk away at any point, and Rhys was okay with that. Like, you want to walk away, you walk away, that's fine. I think it's funny when people talk about these things as if they weren't just as fucking crazy and dangerous as all the shit she went through under the mountain. But what I loved is that Rhys knew she could handle it. And every single time he gave her the opportunity to fail. And when she was in the moment, like, who's going to save me? Every single time she had to save herself, except for the time with the wraiths, the water wraiths.
Fira is a very, very, very interesting character because a female character specifically, because she needs to be challenged. And
Mm-hmm.
no man in this book show her the let me see if you can do this as him.
Yeah.
Not even Lucian that wanted her to be like killed at some point and he hated
Yeah.
her, whatever.
And he was just like,
Like
"Oh, did you scream? I don't know if I heard that."
I have my AirPods in, babes. I have no idea what you're talking about.
They're noise canceling.
He just showed her you are freaking strong. And while this was all going on, he was training her. Like Cassian was training her.
Yeah.
He was training her. They were fighting every day. Like they
Mhm.
put her through what she needed,
Mhm.
basically. And Tamlin, if he knew what she was like, her day to day was looking over there, he would be like, I will kill them all. She's suffering. She's like, no, babes, I wanted this. I needed this. I
Yeah.
needed to sweat every day.
Keep talking. I have a fun little ditty to add.
Tell me now. I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about it like I need to sweat, I need to work, and it reminded me of, like, when you get a bird, like a cockatoo, or you get, like, guinea pigs or hamsters,
I'm like, where is this going?
they live in a cage, and you need to just, like, put different toys in there to give that's called enrichment so that they don't get bored and their brain doesn't turn to mush. Tamlin could have
That's
kept her
Farah.
for Tamlin could have kept her forever if he just, like, gave her little things to keep her busy.
For reals, the book would have finished on the second one. That would
Yeah.
be that's it.
Yeah, like, if he had told her, like, "Okay, your job is to go oversee the fixing up of this town,"
Yeah.
she would have jumped on it, she would have been fine. She would have been like, "Oh, look, something to do." Like, all she needed
But
was enrichment in
again,
her cage.
but again, if we put in there the fact that she had powers and they were like developing and everything, that make that yeah.
Just give her, like, little tires and giant balls and stuff in the garden that she could, like, hit with her fire and stuff like that.
Avatar,
Just let her.
Avatar type of way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, got it,
Yeah,
got it,
just
got it.
wind bender and
But
airbender. I'm just saying.
but
I'm
again,
kidding.
no, no, I love it. But again, I think actually that would have worked. But again, a traditional guy wouldn't do any. He wouldn't go out of his way to do this for her at
Yeah.
all.
He's not a good pet owner.
I'm sorry, Farah. If you're alive in another universe, I'm sorry we're saying this, but we love you, babes.
I really love that this is making it all the way there, though.
Heck yeah. So in these trials that Farah has to go through, we discover that there is a war. You know how in Game of Thrones he says winter's coming. No,
Winter
the
is
war
coming.
is coming. The war is coming, babes. And the war has a name. Hybern, the king of Hybern. He is if you thought that Tamlin was nuts, no, this guy is just American Psycho. He's American Psycho impersonation.
100% he would be played by Christian Bale today.
Oh my god, I would love that.
That'd be
Honestly,
perfect.
that would be
It's
so good.
really giving me Christian Bale vibes.
He will have to get buffed because I know the Game of Heaven is like kind of like
Yeah, he absolutely can get buff. I mean, it's Christian Bale. I mean,
I
hello.
love him.
I'm not talking
I know
Christian
he's
Bale
so big.
Newsies. I'm talking about
I
Christian
know, I know, I know, I
Bale.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got excited for a minute.
I just love Christian Bale so much.
Love that for you, babes. Going back to the book. So this guy is crazy. And if you see the map, is right here in the video. There's a little island now that it says Hybern, and that is his place. And they're like nobody knows what is happening there. Like he was the one that was working with Amarantha, right? So we know that he exists even before. But he has a cauldron.
He has the cauldron.
I said it right, right?
You said it right. It took me a
Look up.
second.
Yeah, I was like, "Hello, say something," because I'm
I'm
excited,
so
and you're not.
you
You're
said
not hyping me up.
you said it so well that I was like, yeah, of course she knows how to say it. And then I remembered that you used to struggle.
So this guy has like the
Mm.
cauldron.
Mhm.
I actually don't like that word though. I like better cauldron. I like it better, but whatever. He has this thing that is actually like the beginning of everything. Like you know, the book of Genesis in the Bible is like that.
Yeah,
That
it's what was in that mural that Farah saw in that study in the spring court.
Tamlin's, yeah,
Yeah.
Tamlin's mansion
Mhm.
part or whatever it is.
Yeah, it wasn't an exaggeration, it's a real thing.
Yeah. So this thing, the cauldron, it's like the beginning and the ending of everything, and he has it.
Mhm.
So Farah, they need like the equivalent of it to like manage it. And that little book or huge book, because I think it's huge, right?
I think it's
The
probably
book
pretty
was
I think it's like
like yeah,
it's big.
like like yeah.
Yeah.
So this book that is like very important because it has all the spells and stuff to manage
Mhm.
the cauldron.
It's like the instruction manual.
Yeah, basically, they have to go to the summer court because they have it, even though they don't
Mhm.
care.
They have
We
half of
think
it.
they don't care. Oh yeah, they have. They have. Who has the other half? Oh, the queens, right?
Yeah, the human queens that we're not even gonna talk
Yeah.
about because fuck them queens.
Look, the humans in this book have so. I know Sarah J. Maas don't like to be human because she's like fucking us up so bad. The
Yeah.
representation that we're giving, fair as that, bad. The queens, bad. Jury
This
at the beginning, bad. Like
Grayson, the only character who nobody has ever made any fan art of ever.
we don't need him.
We don't
Why
need
would
him.
we need that? We don't need him. So they get to the summer court.
Mhm.
That happens. And then the book actually starts to get better. Like, if you thought like right now Tamlin's
Oh.
craziness and everything, no, the book. Now we get slow burn. Now we get action. Now we get fingers. Now we get mates.
Fingers. That was explicit.
Let me tell you something.
You can't
This
say
podcast.
fingers on a podcast like that. We're gonna have to
I'm
bleep
sorry.
it.
I said fingers. I didn't say finger. Yeah,
Ing.
finger in. Yeah,
If you say the first half and I say the other half, then it's different.
I like that. Okay, so we get finger.
Ing.
Dude, give excitement to it.
I'm sorry.
We're getting to the finger.
Ing.
Yes, we're getting to the smut. We're getting to the action. We're getting to. She's very happy right now. We're getting to. The book gets good because let me tell you something. This podcast is about one thing and one thing only: smut.
Dirty, dirty, dirty fairy sex. And then eventually dirty, dirty hockey player sex. And then eventually dirty, dirty stalker sex. We're going to get to all of the dirty, dirty sex there is.
So I know that you're gonna be like, okay, but the name is Come With Us. They say your dark fantasies and blah blah blah, and they're promoting this. What is happening? We're getting there, babes.
Listen,
We're getting there. I promise.
we
promise.
listen. We made this promise to you, but then we also decided to start with the A Court of Thorns and Roses series written by Sarah J. Maas. And let me tell you, we're not kidding when we say that this woman, Sarah J. Maas, saves all the good shit for the last 150 pages. We're not kidding, okay? She likes to build you up and she likes to edge you so hard. She's like, oh, will they or won't they? We're going to keep begging that question for 400 pages. And then she's going to give you a little sprinkle.
Sprinkle.
Are you going to get full on P&V action? Absolutely not. Are we going to get his head between her legs? No. What are you thinking? Absolutely not. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get he touched her thigh. And you're going to fall the fuck apart. I'm falling apart.
If you're not watching the video, I'm just like exactly because this woman, she knows how to do slow burn. Let me tell you something. In my opinion, the first book, slow burn too much, babe. Like we
Then
needed
it was, and it was not great when you got there. It would have been a slow enough burn had when it erupted, had it been hot. It was mediocre.
It was Tamlin. It had to be mediocre. He was not the guy for her.
Or else it would have been a
know.
Why-choose. If it was that good, it would have become a Why-choose.
And you know we love it. But now we get into the part of the book when we're like, why are they not having group sex? Why is she choosing just one person? Because she has so many opportunities to have so much fun times with other people. But whatever, we're gonna get there. So today, this episode 4, is gonna finish on what? Chapter 37.
We're finishing up. We're done talking about chapter 37. She gets the book, okay? There's a lot of water. She almost drowns. That water wraith that she saved, her cousins came and saved her. That's all you need to know. All right.
In my opinion, not the favorite part of the book at all.
Oh,
I think
it gave me anxiety.
Honestly, I just needed Zade and Why-choose to say, she got the book. Let's move on. Honestly.
I don't know.
Honestly.
That whole chapter gave me so much anxiety. I was just like, I just need to know that she got the book. So I couldn't sleep until I knew that she wasn't dead.
I think that's why I didn't love it, because I felt that anxiety while I was reading it, and it didn't feel good to me. I was like, and I have like thing with water, and this thing, it's just when I read about it, I just get very high. Not only with this book, with other books, and so I wasn't feeling good at all.
You got to respect water from a distance.
Yeah, no, exactly. Water, you respect it. So we're gonna leave it on this chapter this week, but we have a fun thing we do now. Yes, we are doing the burn book. If you don't know, we love Mean Girls. I think that's like one of my staple movies. I
Yeah.
just love it, really.
It holds up even today.
Forever.
Also, don't ever try to watch the second one.
Is there a second one?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh
yeah. You know
no.
what? I'm going to send you a link to Jamie French's review of the second one so you don't actually have to watch it, but you can laugh with her as she makes fun of it. It's hilarious. Also, I
Okay,
really want to
I
meet
will
Jamie
put it.
French. The whole
I
reason
will
I'm
put it.
making this podcast and with the YouTube is because I really want to meet Jamie French. I hope you know that's the only reason I'm doing this.
Let me tell you something. Manifesting this for you. Universa, let's do this. Let's do
Okay.
it. Okay, so we got this.
Mhm.
Some videos is gonna be me, and we're gonna ship it to her at some point because I want you to have it here. I want this is
So
our
exciting.
podcast.
I love
Yeah, of
that.
course. So yes, these books belong to these bitches, Reshea and I. So because I love that word, and I always use the word beach. Beach. I say playa. I say playa instead of beach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what
Yes,
I
I
mean?
know. Yeah, for those of you listening at home, playa is Spanish for beach. And
Perra
she's trying to
is
say bitch.
like perra. Exactly.
But what she did say was, I said playa instead of beach, which is still the same thing.
Love it. Next episode, this is gonna be so cute. I promise. This thing is just
You got to get your
now,
hot glue gun out on this.
dude. I'm gonna be pink and everything's gonna be so, and then a
I love
ponytail.
it.
Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Okay,
Great.
so Reshea,
Hmm.
for you,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Chapter 1 to 37.
37.
Who are we going to put in the burn book? Tell me.
I mean, obviously, tampon, right?
Got it.
So,
These guys
mhm.
are
Yeah.
the nastiest, most emotionally unavailable. This is so funny. Unavailable
I'm sure you spelled that right. Like,
males.
you're sounding too happy. You need to say it like you're really mad.
I know, but I can't. I'm happy right now. I've
Ever met.
ever met.
Do
Do
not trust them.
not trust them.
They are.
They are the fuggliest. They are the fuggliest.
Dickheads. Dickheads.
Dickheads. And then we're
Mhm.
gonna put 2 points. Tamlin. Motherfucker.
And then
Who
how
else?
for you, Susie? Who are you putting?
Oh, that's yours. Oh, I really realized that you said Tamlin and that was my bad.
Wait,
Um,
nuh-uh.
dude, I was
You
so
were
excited.
defending him.
I was so excited. No, Tamlin needs to be in the burn book.
That's
No doubt.
100%. Okay.
I was so excited that I got hot. Like I'm hot right now.
Yeah, you are.
You know. Okay, Tamlin. I'm not gonna lie to you. I could have a very nice night with Tamlin. Just gonna say that.
You'd have to teach him a couple things.
Yeah, but I will try it because that blonde hair. I'm not into blonde hair, but
Aw.
I could be. I could. Oh. But I could be. But I could be.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
gonna do Tamlin, and we're gonna do
Oh, Highburn.
Highburn.
Yeah.
Rob, we're like same
No,
age.
you said it earlier. I'm reminding you of what you said,
Highburn. And then we're
which is
gonna
not
do
actually his
my
name.
signature, and then I'm gonna do R as Reshea.
Love
So
that.
these guys are the nastiest, most emotionally unavailable males I've ever met. Do not trust them. They are the fuggliest dickheads.
I love
Tamlin,
it.
Highburn, and then I sign, and then you sign, even though you cannot see
Beautiful.
it.
I'll sign
Where is it? Where
eventually.
is it?
It's fine.
Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
And then this is our first burn book that we have for the podcast, and the first 2 dickheads are Tamlin and Highburn. Period. Now,
Love
Reshea,
that.
what would you say from this book chapter 1 through 37. What is your favorite ACOMAF moment, quote?
My favorite part was when Feyre finally decides to go out into the city of Velaris with everybody, and they go to dinner together, and they're sitting in that table that's like halfway inside, halfway outside. When she went and she was just sitting there watching them interact with each other in such a non-formal way, and Rhysand, Rhys, who is the high lord of this court, is just in town eating with all of his, like, all the people who are his, what are they called? Constituents, like the people who live in
His
Velaris.
citizens? I don't
Citizens, yeah,
know.
like all just like the regular citizens, of which he is their ruler technically.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like hanging out with them and relaxing, and it kind of gives me this picture of comfort that Feyre's never felt before, and it's like the first time she's smiled in like the whole book, and I absolutely love that scene. It's short and sweet, and it makes me so happy.
I remember reading that and I was like, I couldn't stop smiling because I was so happy.
Mhm,
Not just for her, but like he was there. Like we
mhm,
know that he went through so much for
mhm.
so many years without seeing his people. And then he was there with them. And I was like, I think I cried actually, because she was describing it as he was shining.
Yeah,
And that was beautiful.
and then we get to find out that Amryn drinks blood. So
That wasn't a problem for me. So
I wasn't a problem for
whatever.
me either. It was just really nice because I was curious. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, as you can see, Amber is not a normal Feifei.
What is your favorite?
For me, I think this book is my second favorite. My first one is gonna be A Court of Silver Flames forever.
Mhm.
Well, I said forever, then the other one comes out, and then we don't know.
Yeah.
But this one is my second favorite, and this book has so many good parts. Like I love it very much. But there is a quote that I read recently and it stuck to me. It's really good. It says, at some point, Farah wanted to go back to
Mhm.
Tamlin because she didn't want Tamlin to like go crazy again
Mhm.
and start a war because of her.
Mhm.
So she's like, okay, if I have to go back, Rhysand, I will do it. We don't have to go through anything bad. And he
Mhm.
says, and I quote, the issue isn't whether he loved you, it's how much. Too much love can be poison.
I love
I'm
that so much.
sorry, but heck yes. This man is a poet. This man is a daddy. This man is a zaddy. This man is an owner. He's rich. What can you not do? Are you Tom Cruise or whatever? Like, hello?
Oh, no, no. Do not bring
Stop.
Tom Cruise into
No.
this. He is
Stop. Stop.
terrible.
No.
I
Wait.
refuse to
I knew
endorse
you were going to say something. Spare. Wait. Spera. Spera. I just made a video about it on TikTok. You have to just go and watch it.
about Tom Cruise.
Yeah. No, I'm not defending this man. Not at all. I promise you. You just have to go to TikTok and watch it because I'm telling you, he's just, can Tom Cruise fly? Yes, he can. Can Tom Cruise blah, blah, blah. Anything that you can think, Tom Cruise can do. So I think
So
Rizan is
can Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and he's not a Scientologist. So
Shay. Why are you trying to ruin my moment right now?
I'm really sorry. I just really hate Tom Cruise.
I get it. I don't want to say that I hate him because whatever. But
Mm,
you know what? It lives in my mind forever. That
mm.
picture of Nicole Kidman when she's getting out of her designing her boards. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
forever here, forever.
Forever.
So yes, thank you guys. We'll see you next week with finally, guys, smut, like good smut.
Oh
We're
my
talking
God.
about we're talking about fingers again. We're talking
Ding.
about we're talking about stuff happening with paint and oh my god, we
Mm.
we cannot wait.
We're
Yeah.
we're talking about cottages, and we're talking about mountains just
Someone is
crumbling.
promised a wall at some point.
Oh,
Remember?
who's promised a what? Oh, a wall.
A wall at some point. So
Mm.
we're ready, guys, because we're getting into the good part and we're tired of just keeping it really mild To be honest with you,
We're
I
trying
needed
so
the.
hard.
I need
We've
it.
been so
So,
good for 4 episodes.
guys, beautiful people, my little elfies, because let's be honest, fays are elves.
I'm okay with it because I had like 75 posters of Legolas up in my room growing up.
I
So
knew you were going to say Legolas. That's my man. I love him.
always and forever.
Yes, sir. Guys, as always, you love to be here. I don't need to thank you for that, but thank you. I know you love
Thank you.
us.
I'll thank you for it.
Thank you. We love you. We love it. You know, our social medias are always in the videos, in the banners. The social media for the podcast at Come With Us Pod
Mhm,
in any social media.
mhm,
And then if you want to write an email or anything like that, if you want to tell us your story, if
mhm.
you just want to say, hi, bitch, or if you want to just tell us that, oh my God, I got you a book from your wish list, the email for that is comewithuspodofficial@gmail.com.
Mhm.
And our social medias are, Reshea, go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram at Reshea_reads and on TikTok at Charlotte Rivers 4.
At Sussy Nunez on Instagram and at Sussy Nunez 1111 on TikTok. We'll see you next week with part 2 of A Court of Mist and Fury, 38 to the end. We're getting the smile. We're getting
I'm
the
so
spice.
excited.
We cannot be more excited, babes. Thank you guys. As always, if you don't want to be in this book, yeah, I don't need to have your name to put it here. Follow us.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Review it because you know you love us.
If you're not watching us on YouTube, she's pointing at the burn book and she's looking at you with very
Forgot.
threatening eyes. Very threatening eyes.
Yes. I have a crazy eyes right now. Crazy eyes. If you know how I met your mother, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the look.
Love you guys. You're the best. Remember that. And remember, ask for whatever you want and go get it because that is waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Read more. What do we say always, Reshea? One
Oh,
more chapter?
it's always okay to read one more chapter. Don't let
Always.
anybody else tell you differently. Don't let your alarm clock tell you differently. Don't let the sun coming up tell you differently. One more chapter. Just one more.
One more. We hope you have an amazing week because you freaking deserve it. And I know I'm aggressive, but you know what I mean. We'll see you next week. We love you, babes.
Bye.